us we trust.
Today we are in Chattanooga, Tennessee at the Naked River Brewing Company. In a building that once built trolley cars, Naked River is now brewing distinctive craft beers and cooking up some flavorsome Texas-style barbecue. Our trip also included an amazing tour of the Tennessee Aquarium, and we even got to disprove that Sasquatch is a hoax because he's working right here at the brewery. At Naked River, they have a true passion for the craft, a strong sense of community, and they are definitely keeping it naked. Today I'm joined by Jake Raulston, the owner and personal beer taster here at the Naked River Brewing Company. Jake, how are you today?
Doing just fine. Glad to be here.
Excellent, excellent. You have a fantastic space here that we got the pleasure of touring yesterday. Let's talk about your history, though. You're from here originally, aren't you?
Yeah, born and raised a little farther north from here, Soddy Daisy, Tennessee. Went to high school down here, and just always loved Chattanooga. In fact, I've moved away for 5 years for work and lived in Louisiana, Texas, and I had to come back.
Couldn't stay away.
Yeah, there's just something about it. It's a perfect small town.
Community here, it's very it's close, right?
Yeah, and when we set apart to build Naked River, that was one of the things that we really wanted to capture. We felt like we had a lot of great breweries in Chattanooga, and they were all missing just a slight different element, and we wanted all those elements to come together and really build a community-driven center to where people know us, people get to see the process, people get to be involved.
I noticed something interesting. You didn't call it a brewery, you called it a community center.
Well, the problem is if you research breweries on Google Maps, and we don't show up as a restaurant or a family center, and then vice versa, we all got to have labels. So we built something for everybody because we want everybody to come in and enjoy it.
So tell us about the early days of this brewery.
Allowed to start digging in here because
I'm grab and drink.
Do
Absolutely.
you want a little bit? Are you drinking?
I'm gonna
too
start,
early for you. You're gonna start easy.
Let's start with this Naked Light Pilsner.
This is it's a one hop. We put the Saz hops in it because it's actually called Naked Light. We did have to get federal approval for the label and had to send out analysis and everything like that. So it's got I think 11 more calories than Coors Light. It's been a fun one for us. Cheers. So building history, caught on fire twice, been hit by a tornado, waste on car works. Produced trolley cars as early as 1845. I think around 1890 it switched over to the Ross Mead Hen Foundry. They had the strongest, best iron on the market. So the city put it up for auction, and we won. And we had no business plan. We had no idea what we were doing.
But you had to build it.
We had a building.
We
had a building, and we had rent due very soon. We moved in with brick walls, wooden floors, and a historical site controlled by the city that they wanted it painted and to look a certain way. They wanted the roof to look a certain way. It was a real pain in the ass to get in what we've got in here, but we all did it ourselves. So we went through all the pains every little step of the way to kind of get up and running. And that's really where the fuel, the fire, and the creation kind of came together to build this community center. We got a large outdoor patio. We had the food. We wanted to make this a spot where families could come and hang out all day.
The layout you got here is very unique from a lot of the breweries we go to. You have your downstairs tap room, restaurant area, but then upstairs, which is where we are right now, you have the studio space up here.
Yeah. We have a packed house every Thursday night. I think last Thursday we had like 28 people coming up here and doing yoga. I used to laugh. I'm like, who wants to do yoga? Who wants to do yoga? But I'm doing my downward dog. I reach over, I grab my beer, I take a sip, I set the beer back down, and I feel incredible. A little birdie told me that you were going to get through all these beers and start participating in some yoga next.
I would love to do some beer yoga
stretch
today.
And flex.
Absolutely.
Couple of questions for you ladies. Ever wonder what IPA stands for? What makes a sour beer sour? If you want these answers and more, check out Beard Broads. The Broads are back and better than ever in a revamped, retooled, and reloaded new show. They're here to educate you on all things beer. Not only will they be bringing in female guests from the craft industry, but they'll be featuring women from all walks of life and careers. They will be sitting down in the bar at Ambassador Studios, learning about and tasting all different styles of beer. Keep up with the Broads on Instagram and watch all of their episodes in the Beard Broads playlist on the In Hops We Trust YouTube channel. Cheers, Broads.
We're going to talk not just about Jake's beer enthusiast side, he's also an animal lover. And
Let's not take it the wrong way.
would you, he's not, he's a lover of animals.
Yeah,
He's
well,
not an animal
Lover
lover.
of the environment. And I grew up, like I said, here in Chattanooga. One of the biggest proponents, not only for the beer industry, but for Chattanooga, is the waterways. And each one of the river series gives back to a different organization. First one was the Tennessee River Gorge, and they actually purchased a lot of the land to make sure that no one can build on it, protect it, help clean it up. Then we did the Sturgeon General. We actually helped reintroduce hundreds of sturgeon back into the local waterways. And then the Cosmic Turtle, and we had an epic tour of the aquarium yesterday, and we see all the turtles. We saw way more turtle action that I care to ever see again.
Now I have the pleasure of being joined by Trey Trundle and Kobe Lane. They are brewers. One's a line operator, one's a microbiologist. They would have a great sitcom together. When did you first fall in love with beer, guys?
I started with craft beer when I met my my wife now, but at first it was like land sharks and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this is good beer. And she was like, you're disgusting. Like, let me take you to a brewery and let me show you what craft beer is. As soon as that, I was like, oh, okay, so there's flavor in beer.
Absolutely.
It can be incredible.
Absolutely. When did you fall in love with beer, Trey?
Man, probably the first time I fell in love with beer was when I realized I could make it myself.
Yep.
It was like, we can make any beer we want, any flavor we want, however we want it to taste. And that just kind of got me into this kind of world.
If you had a beer that you would say is even maybe slightly ahead of some of the other beers that you've brewed, what would you say it is?
That we've brewed.
Midnight Fuggle.
Midnight Fuggle? Okay,
Yeah.
why?
I'm huge on porters. I think stouts get a lot of love, but porters don't.
If I had to choose a favorite, man, the barrel-aged stuff that we've done have kind of risen to the next level. I mean, we put 100 pounds of moon pies in that beer, and then we decided to put it in a whiskey barrel.
Back to the Future is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about the Doc's Brown Ale. I think brown ales are kind of making a comeback.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
think they are.
Industry.
Yeah.
When we first originally came out with this beer, we kind of wanted to do a homage to Doc Brown because we're all kind of nerds.
Yeah,
here,
we
so,
are nerds,
Absolutely.
not kind of. We're huge nerds.
So we wanted to do something. At the same time, we're like, man, our name's Naked River. Like, there's a dock on a river. So we're like, well, it's Doc Brown. Let's just add a K to the end of his name, and it'll work out.
I was looking on your website yesterday. The hashtag Keep It Naked. How did that hashtag come about?
So the Keep It Naked philosophy is to be an open, exposed product that everyone knows where you're coming from and knows what your intentions are. And so that's anything from making good products to being good stewards of the environment.
Let's do the deed together.
Yeah.
Keep it naked.
Just don't go too far down the dark web with that. So.
I had the pleasure of meeting Sasquatch yesterday.
You did. Does that roll us right into?
That's going to roll us right into that. So this is Squatch Watching.
Yeah, Squatch Watching Wheat.
Boy, try to say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, right. So this was actually the first can that our in-house artist, Jess, who started as a server for us, later went on to brewing, and then she was like, oh, by the way, I do art, and I drew this for you. And I was like, what? Wait. It's a bunch of squatches, watching squatches, watching squatches. It's a 5.7. I love it.
It's that time, folks. Ralph's quick fire questions. What are your favorite types of beers to drink?
Belgian beers are definitely my ultimate favorite.
What kind of beers would you want to be?
Marzens Oktoberfest is the greatest time of the year.
I would be a Mexican lager. Even though I'm a ginger, I love just lazing on the beach.
If you could have any superpower, which superpower would you want?
Mind reading.
The
I
shit
would
that
like
people
to
say about
know
you?
what all of y'all are thinking for the next beer trend. So when you're thinking seltzers again, that I don't have to.
If you were a beer, who would you want to drink you?
Goku.
Wow.
Yeah.
Going Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
My wife.
That's a smart man. You're in a room. It's you, a clone of yourself, and $2 million. What do?
Kill a clone.
Absolutely! You get rid of that clone and you keep that money. If you're watching this episode and you're saying to yourself, hey there, Willie, where'd you get that fancy looking hoodie or that snazzy hat? Well, I'll tell you, Billy, you can buy them right now on the InHopsWeTrustFilm.com website. Hats, sweatshirts, t-shirts, anything you can imagine. Like the In Hops We Trust lovely hoodie that has my beautiful face on the front and the In Hops We Trust logo right on the back. So check out InHopsWeTrustFilm.com. That's InHopsWeTrustFilm.com.
That was magical.
So this is a first for In Hops We Trust. This is a cornhole drinking game brought to us by Naked River. Rules are pretty simple. You stick one on the board, you drink for 1 second. You missed the word completely, it's also a second to drink. You get one in the hole, you drink for 3 seconds. Points at the end are totaled up and that's how many seconds you drink for. See what happens.
Oh!
Can't go
Yeah, we're
past.
tied up, so
Yeah, you can
Front of the
step-
board.
Yeah, you can't go past.
Oh,
the
okay,
front
so I
of
can't
the
go
Yeah,
past
front of the board.
this. Oh, wow.
We're bending some of the rules, so.
Here we go.
But it's over there.
Oh, that's a miss. That's a
Key for
second.
us.
Kobe, what are you drinking?
So I'm drinking Sticky Parts. It's a hazy IPA.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like a nice citrusness to it, but it's also complement of like bitterness, a little bit of an earthy, a danky, with the citra from the mouthfeel down. Like you get all those flavors.
So Trey, what is that beer that you're currently drinking?
This is Midnight Fuggles. Just a good chocolate milk porter. It's Kobe's beer.
I was like, you know what's the best thing in the world? At midnight, you and then you snuggle, right?
Yep.
It's the best thing. So Midnight Fuggles. So I used Midnight Wheat and all Fuggles hops. So all the hops that went in that was just Fuggles.
Oh boy.
We're gonna get wrecked.
Oh!
Oh, if anybody's got any good beer names, we have a beer name list, so just hop your
You know
head.
what's a good name
Charlie.
for a beer? In Hops We Trust. Oh, there it is.
You gotta have it like 10% and call it Ralph.
I love
Ralph
that my
Red's
name
beer.
also means to vomit.
Oh!
This is losing. I don't want to be a winner.
Yeah.
Are any of you guys Arrested Development fans?
I love Arrested Development.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just brewed a sour that's gonna be coming out. It's a blueberry lemonade sour, and I just called it I Just Blew Myself.
I just
Oh,
blew
yeah,
myself for no reason.
Gotta be a better way to say that. Yeah.
There it is.
That one popped right in. We're at halftime of the first ever Cornhole in Hops We Trust drinking session. So we're all gonna shotgun a beer right now. Apparently, Trey here is one of the fastest shotgunners in the entire world. Count us down, ready?
3, 2, 1. I beat you by a mile.
You did. You always win.
Ugh.
He's- disgusting.
There it is. Let's continue the game.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So Frankenstein's, this is our take on a German-styled Oktoberfest. Munich, Vienna, and Pilsner malts.
Oh,
Bring that turkey on.
True traditional lager style. Something you can drink all day and, you know, not hurt, but still malty enough for the guys that actually want to drink beer.
Absolutely. Oh! Got the Sasquatch blueberry.
Yeah, what do you think?
It's absolutely delicious.
It's dessert, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was about 650 pounds of blueberries.
650 pounds of
About
blueberry.
450 gallons of beer.
Now that's how you make it in the hole.
Did anybody count how fast Trey finished before us? It was like a whole
Oh.
minute or two.
You might have the world record. Like, you should honestly talk to Guinness.
We timed it one day.
In
The
0.2
world record
seconds.
was like 2.4 seconds. I did it with a hot Coors Light. I did it in like 2.9 or 3 even. That's what I've been practicing through college for, is to beat a world record of chugging a beer.
It's big.
That
Oh,
one.
no.
We're missing some beads in that one.
You got one in the hole, you got one on the board, we got one. That's 3. You guys win.
That's 11 on the dot.
All right.
Let's bring it in. Thank you so much for having us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming down.
So if you're in the Chattanooga area, come on down to Naked River Brewing Company. They're great guys.
They'll shotgun a beer with you. They'll play some cornhole with you. Thank you again so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Make sure to like, share, and subscribe this video and support your local breweries. Thank you very much. In house we trust, baby. That's how we do it.
In hops we trust.
Want another beer? Check out our channel, In Hops We Trust Film. There you'll get all our latest content, including new episodes, tastings, and all things In Hops related. Cheers! In Hops We Trust is an Ambassador Studios production.